My name is Linas, and today I'm going to walk you through the world in which we are already living to some extent, but in the near future, it will become a reality, a norm, and we won't be talking about this anymore. So a very brief intro about myself. So I started off in traditional finance. I was working at one of the biggest and best-known financial institutions in the world, Western Union. Later on, I joined one of the biggest banks in the Nordics, Danske Bank, after which I was part of one Norwegian investment bank. And then I joined fintech, traditional fintech, and I'm working in the industry for about 3.5 years. Right now I'm part of Contis. We are alternative banking and payments providers in Europe. And just this weekend, we received an award for our partnership with Wirex, which is one of the better known players in the crypto space. So we are doing pretty good job. To begin with, there's one crucial thing we need to understand: the difference between Finance 1.0 and Finance 2.0. In fact, if there's one thing that I would like you to take away from my keynote is this. So the key difference between Finance 1.0 and Finance 2.0 is hyperscalability. The thing is that today, finance has become hyperscalable, and this is by far one of the biggest changes happening in finance today. Take a look at Citibank, a big bank, a global bank, which serves around 200 million clients worldwide, and it was founded back in 1812. On the other hand, we have LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has more clients, more customers than any bank in the world, and it's only 15 years old. If we would take a look at Facebook, the numbers would be even more astonishing. So what we're seeing now today is the shift to C2B and rising importance of GAFA, which stands for Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. These companies are setting and, most importantly, delivering exceptional customer experience standards, and they want to be relevant in every aspect of our lives, financial as well. Some things to consider. So in 2016, 20% of people said that they would rather bank with Google, Apple, or Facebook if available. This was a Fujitsu poll. In 2017, 31% of people said that they would switch to banking for Google, Apple, or Facebook, and 29% for the insurance. This was Accenture survey. Yet, one of the most interesting things I would like to stress is that customer satisfaction at Amazon is greater than at any bank in the US. So this tells you quite a bit. So how GAFA is disrupting the financial world? So here I put some of the more notable features, but I would like to focus on the last two, so Facebook and Amazon. If we would look at Facebook, and let's put those scandals, data breaches aside, so the goal of Facebook is, and still was, to connect the world. And they're doing this brilliantly. They're putting our physical world into digital, including the financial services. So what we have P2P payments in Facebook Messenger, so you can send and receive money through your friends and connections. There's also chatbots for financial institutions, so you can perform simple things, having your Wells Fargo account, for example. And there's one interesting thing that many people don't know is that Facebook has an e-money license from Central Bank of Ireland. Probably the hottest news right now is that, and if you're following crypto space, you should have heard of that, is that there are rumors that Facebook might buy Coinbase. So imagine if one of the biggest social networks in the world would merge with one of the biggest and better known crypto exchanges. Something would happen, right? Something interesting. If we would look at Amazon, I would say that Amazon, for me personally, is by far one of the most interesting technology companies who is disrupting financial services brilliantly. So they have Amazon Pay, Amazon Marketplace, even credit card with partnership with commercial bank. And if we would take a look at the financial services pie that traditional businesses or banks are providing, would have nearly all the features done by Amazon. That's why it is not surprising at all that one of the key trends in fintech for the upcoming couple of years is Amazon Bank. And in fact, I would argue that Amazon is already a bank, but not in a conventional sense. So having this in mind, it is not surprising at all that by 2020, 80% of the existing revenues of traditional financial institutions and banks might extinct. So in order to survive, these institutions have to become technology companies. And what we're seeing here is that some of them already are claiming that they are technology companies. The thing is that some actually are doing a great job, others are not, but the longer term will show who practiced what they preach and who didn't. So to wrap up this very brief intro, I would like to say that finance as we know it is becoming invisible. It is being shifted away from traditional financial institutions and banks and is being embedded in every aspect of our lives. So shopping, social networks, smartphones, or wearables. And going further and analyzing what does it actually mean, we must speak about cashless, cardless, and instrumentless payments. And speaking about cashless world, we must for sure speak about Sweden and Norway. So Sweden and Norway are the leaders in cashless payments in Europe. If we take a look at Sweden, about 2% of all the value transactions in the economy last year were conducted in cash. To give you a perspective, in Lithuania, last year we had about 50 to 60% of all the value transactions done in cash. If we would look at Norway, so cash levels there are below 5%. And why is it happening? So first, there's a big internet penetration. So people are heavy users of the internet. Second, there's a popularity of the payment cards. So people like paying and spending money with their cards. And another very important thing is the mobile phone usage. So people are using mobile phones for paying for goods and for services. And what you see here is the two leading players in the Nordics, so Swish for Sweden and Whips for Norway. These are the key mobile payment platforms in the Nordics. But yet, despite of that, if we would take a global perspective and if we would look at the world, I would say, and I wouldn't be surprised at all, if China would become the first cashless economy in the world. One fact to consider. Last year, there were 5.5 trillion e-payment transactions made in China. To give you a perspective, this is 50 times the amount made in the US. Not 5, not 10, but 50. Therefore, it is fair to say that China is the QR-first economy. In fact, QR codes are so popular in China that even beggars are using them when asking for money. Again, what is driving this? First of all, the internet penetration. So about 50% of 1.35 billion population are internet users. So 50%, there's another 50% of untapped potential. Then two very important players, Tencent with WeChat and WeChat Pay, and Alibaba with Alipay. In fact, if we would be thinking about China, there's one single app you have to have in order to, in essence, satisfy all your needs. It's WeChat. You can pay for goods and services, you can buy, you can chat with your friends. This is brilliant concept. And finally, the last thing is that the market was and still is to some extent underserved by traditional financial institutions. And this is the key driver that led to the rise of challenger banks, neobanks, and fintechs in Europe. So seeing these trends, these shifts, traditional financial institutions are not stupid. They're noticing this, they're seeing this. That's why such players as Visa, for example, are thinking of launching payment rings or other devices. So in 2016, in Rio Olympics, for sponsored athletes, Visa launched a payment ring which was used for buying goods in the Olympic Village. And it works really simple. So there's a ring, which with the help of tokenization, which has nothing to do with cryptocurrencies and tokenomics, stores your credit card credentials, your car key credentials, or information to be more precise, your home keys, for example, or even computer logins. And you have one ring to satisfy all your needs. So in essence, it replaces your wallet. The same is being done with MasterCard, and other companies are raising the funds to challenge the incumbents. Another very interesting thing is that there are companies who are maybe even more drastic or foolish, I don't know. So one of the companies in the US is introducing microchips that are inserted here in your hand, and they play the same function as the payment ring. So they store your payment card credentials, your house key logins, your car credentials, or even computer access. And you have one device to rule them all. In essence, you don't even feel that you are using, you are paying, you're accessing. Seamless, frictionless, invisible. But going a bit further to the instrumentless world, we must speak about the voice payments. And this is the next big thing in payments, the key thing in payments. So, for example, right now in the US, there's about 18 million voice payments users. And this number is expected to grow to 80 million by 2022. Again, this is US alone. I'm not speaking about Sweden and Norway. I'm not touching China. This is US. So with the help of Siri, Amazon Alexa, and Google Assistant, we will be paying for goods and services. We will be transferring money. We'll be ordering food. So imagine in a couple of years' time how your morning routine will begin. You will wake up and say, hey Siri, how's my crypto portfolio doing? Should I buy more Bitcoin? Or maybe should I sell that Ether? How should I optimize it to make more profit? Or, hey Alexa, transfer $10 to Tom for the lunch we had yesterday. Or, hey Google, make an appointment to the hairdresser because I'm going to a Tinder day tonight. Amazing, right? So who is driving this? So obviously, one of the key things is the explosion of artificial intelligence and virtual assistants, Siri, Alexa, or Google. Going deeper, obviously, who drives this? The GAFA, Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. And another very important thing is evolving needs. So the thing is, and you probably should have noticed this, that we're becoming more and more lazy. We want everything now, we want everything instantly, done seamlessly and frictionlessly. And here is where the voice comes into play. Finally, another very important trend which summarizes and finalizes my presentation is with commerce. So we are seeing the trend that soon there will be no payment experience in the most payment-centric activity, shopping. And here we must speak about Amazon, and Amazon Go concept. How does it work? So you go into store, you take what you need, you walk out, that's it. No lines, no checkout, nothing. That's it. When you walk out, the payment receipt is being pushed to your phone, you press accept and pay, that's it. Amazing, simple, easy. I must note that this is not unique or something really revolutionary. The same concept is already available in Sweden with a store with no employees. Another similar idea is being developed in China with the likes of Alibaba and Tencent. Again, a shop with no employees. Everything is driven by AI and machine learning algorithms. So to sum up the presentation, I would like to say and stress that the sharing economy was a big and positive thing for all of us. The next big thing will be the access economy, where everything is interconnected, where the ultimate focus is on the consumer experience, and where finance is invisible, but it is embedded in every aspect of our lives. Thank you.